All right, students. So today we are going to be focusing on the coordinate plane. Now, the coordinate plane consists of two things that we should already be fairly familiar with, and that is number lines. All right, so we're going to have this one number line here. All right, this is going to be our horizontal number line. All right. Just gonna create a few dashes on that one. All right, so our horizontal number line is going to move left to right. And then we're also going to have what we call a vertical number line. All right, and our vertical number line is just simply going to go up and down. All right, excuse me, touch screen ain't acting super sensitive right now. All right, so we got these two number lines, right? Now, again, remember, vertical is moving up and down. Horizontal is moving left and right. Now, what happens is that our horizontal and our vertical number lines, they're going to end up overlapping with one another. All right, so we're going to move this horizontal number line right here over our vertical. All right, so not the best look, but we can work with it. So this is the coordinate plane. When we have the overlay or the intersection of the horizontal and a vertical number line, we get our coordinate plane. Now let's talk about these horizontal and these vertical number lines because they're going to do some different things here. All right, so first let's talk about this horizontal number line. So a horizontal number line is going to be known as the horizontal axis, or we also call it the x-axis. All right, now our vertical axis is going to be what we call our y-axis. So remember, the vertical is moving up and down. That is going to be our y-axis. All right, so where our horizontal axis and our vertical axis intersect, so where the x-axis and the y-axis intersect, is called our origin. So right here, smack dab in the middle, this is what we call our origin. And please forgive me, I'm writing on a screen. I'll get better at this eventually. But right now, this is kind of a new process for me. Pretty sure this is a pretty new process for you guys as well. All right. So this is our origin. Now, while we're talking about the origin, let's go ahead and take some time to talk about our ordered pairs. So I'm going to put this over here to the top left. All right, so our ordered pairs follow a very specific order. All right, and what our ordered pairs are they are the coordinates for the points that we're going to place on our coordinate plane. So our ordered pairs are going to go in the order of the x coordinate first. So wherever your point lands on the horizontal axis, that comes first. and then the y coordinate second. So wherever your point lands on the vertical axis. So again, our ordered pairs are going to be x, y. Now, when we're talking about our origin, the origin is going to have a very specific ordered pair. The origin's ordered pair is going to be really, really simple because it's the origin. It's where everything starts at, right? So our origin is going to be 0, 0. So the x coordinate is going to be 0. And our y coordinate is also going to be 0. So 0, 0 is the coordinates for our origin. Trying to make my 0 a little bit better there. Now, this is important because we use the origin to be able to identify the coordinates of the other points that are going to show up on our number line. But before we get to that, let's talk about these 4 quadrants, these 4 spaces that our coordinate plane has split up are 360 degrees. All right, it's split it up into 4 separate locations. Now, our quadrants, they're going to rotate in a counterclockwise motion, the way that we count them. So a lot of times people want to start at the top left. They'll want to start right here. That's not correct. We're going to start over here at the right. So our first quadrant is going to be right here. It's going to be quadrant 1. All right, now for quadrant 1, both the x coordinate and the y coordinate are going to be positive. All right, the reason that is the case, if I can draw my positive symbol here, let's just go back and make that a little bit cleaner. So the reason that is the case is going to be because if we move to the right of the origin, starting right here, if I move to the right, well, I'm only moving towards positive values. If I move up, I'm also only moving towards positive values. All right, so for quadrant 1, you're going to have a positive x coordinate and a positive y coordinate. Now, when we go to the left, remember I told you guys the quadrants are going to go counterclockwise. So when we go over to the left, we're going to find that quadrant 2 is going to have a negative x coordinate. All right. And it's also going to have a positive y coordinate. Now let's talk about why this is the case. So again, if we start at our origin, we start right here in the middle. When I move to the left for my x values, well, I'm moving towards negative values. But again, if I start at my origin and I move up, I'm moving towards more positive y values. So anything in quadrant 2 is going to have a negative x coordinate and a positive y coordinate. Now let's go and let's look at quadrant 3. So any guesses where quadrant 3 is going to be? Remember, we're moving counterclockwise. Quadrant 3 is going to be down here. All right. Now, do you guys think quadrant 3 is going to have any positive coordinates at all? You should say no. Quadrant 3 is going to have both a negative x coordinate and a negative y coordinate. All right, now the reason why this is the case, let's look at our origin here. So when I move to the left, anything that's to the left is going to be negative. We know that from quadrant 2. For our x coordinate, anything to the left of the origin is negative. When I move down from my origin, anything below the origin is going to be negative as well. So we got one more. Now quadrant 3, remember, both the x and the y coordinate are going to be -3. So let's look at our last quadrant. That is going to be quadrant 4, or we're just going to call it Q4. All right, and Q4, we're going to have a positive x coordinate paired with a negative y coordinate. Now, the reason for this, again, you start at the origin. When we move to the right of the origin where quadrant 4 will be, you're going to have positive x values. That's why our x coordinate will be positive when it's in quadrant 4. When we move down from our origin, we're going to get negative y values. That's why our y coordinate is going to be negative when we have a value that is in quadrant 4, excuse me. All right. So I don't want to overburden you guys right now. We're going to take this step by step. Next lesson, we are going to focus on identifying coordinates and their values. All right. So as always, stay safe and be blessed.